we send you, former United Kingdom Prime Ministers, and you send us, future United Kingdom Prime Ministers.
Let's begin What's Trending by highlighting reactions to former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's visit to Nigeria to attend Imo State Economic Summit in Owerri. Speaking during the event on Thursday, Johnson celebrated the economic and professional ties between the United Kingdom and Nigeria, describing the relationship as mutually beneficial. He also made a pointed reference to Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservative Party, joking that Britain sends former prime ministers to Nigeria, while Nigeria sends future prime ministers to the United Kingdom. Let's take a look.
I'm proud, very proud, of what we export to Nigeria. We send you pharmaceuticals and bankers and services of all kinds, automotive parts, all sorts of things. We send whiskey, huge quantities of whiskey, probably more popular somewhere than another. We send, and you send us so much in return. Oil and gas, Nollywood movies, brilliant doctors, nurses, technicians, tech geniuses from Nigeria. Nigeria come to the UK, and we're very grateful. We're very grateful and honoured. And we send you, former United Kingdom Prime Ministers, and you send us, future United Kingdom Prime Ministers, in the form of Kemi Badenoch, who comes from Nigeria and is doing better and better these days.
Dr. Abati, I was listening to you this morning. I was like, Dr. Abati, hold your fire. There's time for that discussion. Just hold your fire. Because it was like, what an insult, right? I'll take some response on X. I'll take just this one, Obiora, before I come to you, Dr. Abati. Obiora wrote on X, our predicament lies squarely in the hands of leaders who have repeatedly failed to demand fair terms, real reciprocity, and a balance of trade that actually advances Nigeria's long-term interests. After all, what national value is created by importing huge quantities of whiskey while exporting the very oil, talent, and intellectual capital that sustain other economies? A nation that trades its best minds and raw resources for low-value consumables cannot pretend this is partnership. And so, Boris Johnson can stand on a public stage and frame this imbalance as generosity, unaware or uncaring that his praise exposes how casually Nigeria is expected to accept lopsided exchanges as though they were compliments, until we elect leaders who understand national dignity, protect our strategic assets, and insist on trade that enriches Nigeria rather than draining it. Comments like his will continue to sound like graciousness to some, even as they function as an insult, hiding in plain sight. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very quickly. The positive side that I can take from former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's statement in the Owerri Investment Summit, to which he had been invited to deliver the keynote address, was that he addressed the challenge of insecurity in Nigeria. And he said, oh, I feel safe in Nigeria. I've been reading a lot of things, but looking at it, I don't think that there is any problem in Nigeria. And so this is one international figure who feels very safe to come to our country. And I hope that he will tell his friend, the President of the United States, that Nigeria is safe. He, of course, is a Christian. He's been here and he's been part of the summit. Maybe he has gone back. A very safe environment from his own testimony. And we endorse that. However, the whole idea of inviting Boris Johnson to an investment summit, well, apart from him to just give ideas about what can be done, being a former prime minister, what level of investment is he going to bring? I said the only major investors that I saw there, Aliko Dangote and also Benedicto Rama, who can contribute concrete ideas about investment. And then Governor Uzodinma is holding investment summit. How many months to when he will leave office? This is his second term. He's going to end very soon. If he was very serious about this, he should have done it the first term, the very first within 2 months that he came into power, and he will have had the time to implement it. So even if brilliant ideas were given there, who is going to implement those ideas? So that's why I say, give it to Governor Uzodinma. He's a genius in political showmanship, and he achieved this in terms of giving us a truly international summit. Now, to go to what Boris Johnson was saying. Look, the former Prime Minister was insulting us.
Yeah.
He said he's very happy with what we've been able to export to Nigeria. What did he say the British have been exporting here? They've been exporting large quantity of whiskey. In other words, Nigeria is a country of drunkards.
48 years or how many years whiskey?
Yeah, this is a whiskey.
You're absolutely correct.
So, in fact, maybe the Nigerian government should do something about this importation of whiskey to Nigeria. Maybe it's responsible for part of our problems.
Yes, sir.
He says they've been exporting pharmaceuticals to Nigeria.
Yeah.
So the subtext is that Nigeria is a country of sick people who are taking. Okay, I'm not pointing the Zimbabwe.
Yeah, no, point that way.
I'm also an import, Dr. Abati. I'm an import.
And also, is there banking services and other services? Then what do we give in return? In terms of intervention, we give oil and gas.
Yes.
We give tech geniuses. Yes. We give Nollywood.
Yes.
And on top of it all, he says we are giving Britain somebody who is likely to become Prime Minister of Britain. Can't you see how it's unequal?
Why do you invite former Prime Minister?
Unequal.
Yes.
So it was a British sarcasm. You know, at his highest. And I thought, you know, he was diplomatically insulting us. And that's why the whole point about investment. I go back to the point made by the Vice President. That, look, it's only Africans, Nigerians themselves, nations, states here that can determine our own economic direction.
All right.
And that's why these state governments should invest in agriculture, invest in human capital, and Igbos who are outside the southeast, they should also go and invest at home.
Yes.
Not outside. Indiana, Governor Soludo has been calling on Anambra, come home and invest in your area so that you can create jobs, give opportunities to your people. And then the federal government should support the states with good policies.
All right. Very well said.
Dangote is doing petroleum. Yeah. They say they will stop importation, 15%. Right. The same government say, oh, we are not changing, we have changed our mind. How can the government be encouraging large-scale importation and will not support local productivity? Well, so this is the mismatch, the disconnect that we have. And that's why they can come and tell us that we send the best of our talents. Why they give us whiskey?
All right.
Large quantities of whiskey. Who are the people drinking the whiskey?
We know them. But
so
anyways,
whiskey is our own fentanyl.
All right.
It's our own cocaine.
No, but there's a public official who
hold on.
Whiskey,
yes, we know the people who love 48-year-old whiskey, right? Do we produce whiskey here in Nigeria? Okay, now so okay. Well, talking about we have Ogogoro. Sapele water.
Yeah. No, they're doing great branding now with it. They've commercialized it and made it very formal.
You want to join the British to laugh at us?
I want to export Ogogoro to the Brits.
High five. Well, you know, speaking about Igbos coming back to and I think it's quite a valid point from Vice President Kashim Shettima, also with the Anambra State government, calling for the Igbos to invest in the Southeast. Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima at the event described Igbos as the greatest stakeholders in the Nigerian project, highlighting their widespread economic influence across the country. Shettima painted a vivid picture of Igbo economic dominance, stating that half of Abuja is owned by Igbo. He went further, declaring that the presence of both Igbo and Hausa communities in any location signals safety and vibrancy.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I dare say that Igbo are the greatest stakeholders in the Nigeria project. Half of Abuja is owned by Igbo. Half of the population of Lagos is largely made up of Igbo. There is hardly any place in this country. If you don't see an Igbo man, you better run away from that place. If you don't see a Hausa man, you better run away from that place. Because they go where opportunities abound. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to appeal to our leaders to come and invest in this country, in Imo, and in all parts of the Federation, because this is a nation waiting to unleash its full potentials.
Right. Well, this is a significant statement from Nigeria's #2 citizen, recognizing the Igbo community's vital role in the country's economic fabric. The acknowledgement comes as the federal government seeks to deepen engagement with the Southeast through infrastructure investments and policy reforms. Meanwhile, at the summit, Governor Hope Uzodinma highlighted Imo State's strategic advantages, including what he called the largest proven gas reserves in West Africa. Some other notable figures at the event include business mogul Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who announced that his conglomerate would become one of Imo State's biggest investors, and former Afrexim Bank President Benedicto Rama, who revealed that the bank is already constructing a multi-million-dollar quality compliance and exports facility in the state. I mean, these are notable investments that we have seen from this summit. Ayo, you know, I'd like for you to tie in your thoughts with Vice President Kashim Shettima talking about the Igbo resilience and, of course, the Hausa communities. It says if you don't see an Igbo man in a community or even a Hausa, just live there.
Business is not
that place is not prosperous. But you know, it speaks volumes.
Yes, yes. We've talked about the enterprising nature of the people, of the Igbo people, especially people from the Southeast. And even during campaign season, presidential candidates talked about how they were going to maximize the entrepreneurship, you know, the entrepreneurial skills and talents in these areas. I remember that Southeast was said to be going to become the Taiwan of Africa. We haven't seen that yet. What it means is that there is great potential in this region, but we need to move from potential to tapping into this potential by investment, critical investment in areas that could produce and fully showcase these talents. And so that's why I again called this, earlier this morning I was talking about the subnationals and even highlighted some areas that the Imo State governor can do. The important thing is that a 2-day summit, economic summit, is good. Optics very good, right sound bites and so on. But if they end at sound bites, including the promises of investment, then it would have done nothing for the state, despite the fact that a lot of money has been spent. If Alhaji Aliko Dangote, for instance, decides that he wants to go and become the biggest investor in Imo State, that is very welcome. But I hope that Imo State provides an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. I was talking about the fact that in the last top 10 index, competitiveness index released by the Presidential Enabling Business and Environment Council, PEBEC, Imo State is not on that list. It means that it is not very easy to do business based on certain policies, infrastructure, bureaucracy, bureaucratic procedures in accessing government services and the likes. And so these are the areas that they should look into. Let us move from rhetoric to action.
Yes.
Beyond, you know, summits like this, let us show working. Alhaji Aliko Dangote said the best way to attract foreign investment is through domestic investment.
Yes.
If you want people to come and put their money or entrust their money in your system, let them demonstrate to them that you are willing and open for business. Number one, fix insecurity. Ensure that they sit at home on Mondays, which there's billions of naira lost in income and affecting businesses. Look at agriculture. Let us move from mechanized subsistence form to mechanized. Let us develop the value chain, provide good roads, provide water, provide power. These are the critical things. Educate your people, encourage your citizens.
Yes.
These are the things that the governors can do. So in addition to summit, let them show working.
Yes.
Your works would make it even more of a powerful statement that you are ready and willing to attract investors and ready to do business.
All right.
That's what we want to see.
Very well. So overall, I thought it was a beautiful summit.
good start.
My dear friend, Stephanie Busari, you know, I'll have to plug her in, was one of the organizers of the event, and she's been doing so well in getting all these high-profile people together in one room. So I'd say...
We have to import Aisha Sese as one of the...
Well, that's why the world is a global village, Dr. Abati. It's good to have that type
With
of
all
shared
the MCs
color.
we have on this
No,
table.
I mean, that's what I just said. The world is a global village. We need to find ways to share culture, share exchange, isn't it so?
Well, I hope they'll invite us to the UK with Boris Johnson
I'm
to
sure,
anchor their own
if you
investment
have,
summits
well, if you have
over
people
there.
like Stephanie Busari on the table, I'm sure that would happen. Well, kudos to her, and of course, the good people of Imo State.